Good morning, everyone. So this would be day 3 video. As you can see, it's basically done. When I was working on it, I was working till dark. It was way too dark to try to get a video. Also had to wait for the weather to improve. We spent about 2 months with the winter weather. Just windy, rainy, just disgusting. It was hard. I got to the point where I couldn't work on the roof because it just wasn't safe. Anyway, so you can see basically it's done. You can see the ramp is not done. I wanted to figure out a better design than what I originally had, but that's temporary, and that probably won't take but a day or two. Some neat little features. The door. So I'm using a 10-watt solar panel for the door. I was going to use one of those little cameras you get from the box store, those little solar panels for game cameras. And that guy was about the same price, but at 10 watts versus less than 1 watt. And it looks pretty good. Does a wonderful job. Yes, they already love it. So the metal roof, metal walls, all of it was to help make it predator proof. I mean, this thing was designed to help keep raccoons out. As you see, it's up off the ground, so a raccoon can't dig up underneath there and get to them. The door, all metal, they're not chewing through it. I can put a padlock on here. I'd love to see a raccoon try to figure out how to unlock a padlock. Right now I'm just using a carabiner. And so here's the control box. I'm also putting in a second timer as a backup. It'll be just like this, but it'll be a second one. And there I've got 2 batteries. One will be for the primary and one will be for the secondary. I've got them both connected right now so they can both be chopped off and charging. I got those in there just because it gets a little dark at night and they're having a hard time learning. It took them about a week to learn to come in here at night. Inside of this little plastic thing is my charge controller. I'll have to sit you down real quick. And it's just a cheap PWM, nothing special. And I'm not sure why. Oh, there we are. You can see how that one light's blinking, which means it's charging the battery. The green light means the batteries are near full. I just put the second battery in there the other day, so it's still trying to top it off. We got a lot of rain last 2 days. And this is also temporary. I'm waiting to mount the solar panel on the roof before I try to mount any of this other stuff down. Alrighty, so I've also got a ton of nesting bars. And you can see lots of room for everyone. You can see the nesting boxes. I left them nice and tall because I also have ducks, had a turkey, and would like to get some turkeys and guineas and other animals, other birds. And so I wanted to be able to accommodate them as well, which is also why you see the door is a lot larger than it needs to be for just a chicken. A couple little water tanks back there. They normally don't, during the day, they're normally not in here. So the hardwire mesh isn't a problem with their feet normally. I'm not sure why so many are in here right now. Whatever. Not actually worried about it. These 2 guys, they were picking on them. And so we're trying to get them acclimated before we let them go, but they get checked on multiple times a day. The door is the cool part. It is a linear actuator controlled by those timers. Oh, come on. There we are. And when this thing closes, it does not opening. She's about to be surprised. It's a little noisy, a little slow, I don't mind the slowness because I would rather... Here we are. There we are. Takes about a minute and a half to close. They will probably be slightly confused. And it's just an old AC door, actually. I was just going to get a piece of thin steel. And I had this AC door. That I salvaged. And you see it's crooked at the moment, but that's okay. I've actually left some slop in here. It can't slide out, but I did leave some play to help reduce friction. I didn't want too much friction because that actuator will pull up to 330 pounds. So I figured if it gets stuck on something, it will break it. And you can see, you're not pushing through it, and you're not lifting that little guy up. I mean, I literally have it set with very little clearance. So I'm waiting for the day to see a raccoon pop up on my little game camera and see him very frustrated that he can't get in and hurt my babies. Alright, let's get you back open. And what's cool is, yesterday we got a ton of rain. I mean, look at this little water puddle. Just a ton of rain. And what was nice is, I didn't have to come out here in the rain to open the door for them. So not only does it make it safe for them, they get let out every morning at the exact same time. And if I'm not feeling well, say I'm sick, that flu going around, they're still getting let out. That door's still closing every night, keeping them safe. Pretty cool. And some of them are a bit skittish of people. Some of them are very friendly to people. As you can see, this young little lady right here. And she doesn't have a name. I just call her Blackie. She survived a raccoon attack. She's very friendly. But the birds can have their space with less human interaction if they don't want it. So they're happier. At least those birds. I did add some hanging support. These 2x4s go all the way from the ceiling, or roof joist, all the way down to the floor. I added some extra cross bracing. And then I just also used them, since they were there, I used them for supporting the roosting bars. And that's going to help with the floor sagging. I also added some cross support on the floor, and that helps as well. The other thing is, I'm using these little rabbit cage cleats. And that was to help keep the wires from separating, so little feet won't get caught in them, and so critters can't try to figure out how to work the floor and sneak up under through the floor. The mesh floor helps for the poo to fall through. It helps let fresh air come in from the bottom and exit out the top, so it keeps air circulation going real well. I'm down here in the south. We don't normally get too many cold days, but we'll hit 100 degrees early enough. And so I didn't want a solid floor because I wanted that airflow. I don't want them to get too hot. Actually, a lot of the poo you're seeing here is because I had some hay on the ground, and that hay actually blocked some airflow and blocked some of the light coming in, and it was even stopping the poo, and that wasn't good. I don't want them standing in their own poo. That's just disgusting. Ever since I got the hay out, it actually hasn't been accumulating because it falls straight through to the floor, to the ground. And I did put some hay on the bottom there because the ducks and chickens, one of the ducks, Muscovy duck, they like hanging out under there during the day. Anyway, hope you like. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any comments, concerns, just would like some help, let me know. This is my second build. My first build was that floating dock way out there. This is the second time I've actually ever built anything. So I wasn't expecting perfection, and it came out a lot better than I expected. It was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it. Y'all have a great one. Take care. Like, subscribe, say hi. And I will see y'all later.